This model kit review is of the Land Rover Series 3109, and there's nice artwork there. And it is a 1/24 scale model by Revell. Here's some pictures of the finished model, quite nice looking actually. And here's some details here about the Land Rover, as well as the dimensions. And we're going to need to open the box here. Trim out all of that plastic. Let's see what's inside. Oh, it looks like we've got lots and lots of parts here. And this is by Revell of Germany, not the US Revell. And they usually have more details and slightly better detailed parts. So let's start off by looking here at our main body. So this is actually fairly nicely molded. Feels a little rigid, but not too bad. Nice details on the outside. Here we have our tires. These are stiff, hard vinyl, and we've got 5 of them, one for the extra spare wheel at the back. They've got some nice tread on them, skinny little tires. Let's have a look at these screws over here. This looks like this is part of our chassis subframe. Very nicely molded actually, very crisp and clean, no flashing. That's probably where our seats are going to go there. Over here is the hood, very nicely molded. And then there is our front windshield. Here we've got the insides of the doors. It's a very Spartan looking car. That's because they were for off-roading. And then not really sure if that's part of the back or not. Looks like the handle there. Let's have a look at these next set of screws. Plastic's a little warped, but parts don't seem to be affected by it. Here's our fan with the shroud, and we've got oil pan. Normally they'd have a little plug on it. I don't see one. You can just add one. And then air intake. We've got some belts and engine parts here. Lots of little pieces, all for the engine likely. Over here we've got some seats. Dashboard, you can do right hand drive or left hand drive depending which way you want to do it, and not sure what that's for. Parts of our seats here, and there's our stick shift. Not really sure what some of these parts are for. I guess we'll find out when we get to the instructions. This has got to be our roof here. That's got to be the roof here. We've got some wheels, hubs there. Looks like our battery, our radiator fan, more wheel parts there. Not sure what all those parts are for. Probably a bumper there. And here's our engine block, nicely detailed with headers there, little fluid tank there. And I'm not sure what these parts are for. Looks like maybe a little cage. and sway bar, looks like parts of our suspension. And then grille, we've got some side mirrors, I guess depending if you want it short or long. More side mirrors there. Okay, here are our glass pieces. Those are very nicely molded. Now lots of glass pieces, all for the lights and mirrors and windshield and so on. Okay, so this last set of sprues, looks like we've got our axles here, front and back. Those are our suspension, old leaf spring type. There and there. Here's our muffler with our exhaust, and pretty part of our four-wheel drive differential there. Here we've got our steering wheel, drive shafts there. As you can see, just tremendous amount of detail, and it's all very well molded. Here's our main chassis. There's our fuel tank in there, and we've got all of our seats, some air ducts, suspension parts there, windshield wipers, nicely molded. There's a pedal box. So now we're going to have a look at our instructions, and there should be some decals. There they are. And here are decals. Not a lot of decals, but mostly just different license plates. So I guess depending on where you want it to be from, or what you want it to look like. Okay, here are the instructions. Okay, we've got our colors needed there, and this shows you need to mix them. More colors there, and we've got a parts listing. Shows you all those parts. Okay, so I guess depends on, looks like what you are going to drive, left or right hand drive. I think I would probably, maybe do it right hand drive, it's not a very common car in the United States. So you're going to start off with building your engine. There's your oil pan going on there. All the different parts going onto the engine. And then looks like our transmission there. Drill holes there in your in the subframe. I'm going to put the engine bay, firewall, and all the other parts in the engine bay. Here's our rear axle. That's for steering. There's a steering bar there. You've got your leaf springs going on, exhaust and muffler, and then the other axle going on with its leaf springs. Mount the engine, drive shafts go in there, our radiator and fan shroud with the fan as well as the tubing for that. We're going to mount our subframe on the chassis, and that's left hand drive, that's for right hand drive. I guess that's your steering. Okay, then right hand drive, left hand drive shows you where to put things for those two different sides. We've got our seats going on there. Those all glued together. There we go, that's what those are for. That's for the framework for the seats. More seats going together. That's only for the German version. I guess otherwise you're going to have 3. And then you mount all of that into the cabin, and some side seats for the back. That's what that's for, is the side seats for the back. And then we paint the inside and put those on. That's the inside of the door as well as the rear. And there's our instrument panel and dashboard for left hand drive. Here it is for right hand drive. left-hand drive again, right-hand drive again there. And then I guess depending on which version you're building here, it will tell you, version 1 or version 2, what to do with those holes, if you're going to drill those out or not. And then drill out holes in the back. And then we're going to mount our dashboard as well as lights. Glass gets mounted, although I usually do that last, there's no reason to do it now. Windshield wipers are on, and then putting some decals on there. The radiator grill goes on, and all of our glass, the clear ones go on the other side as well. And on the back, here is our roof. Don't forget to drill out those. And looks like you're going to put clear glass over it. And then our spare tire. Then we mount the cabin onto the subframe. Build our little cage for up top for holding luggage. Glass goes on for our lights. And then all the extra little details go on to the back. And then we put our wheels together. Engine bay parts go in. The hood goes on there. Wheels get mounted, and all the extra little trim details. So here is the decal and paint guide. All those decals going on there and on there. So it doesn't really show you the difference between version 1 and version 2, so that's not all that clear. Not sure what that's about, because it doesn't say here that there's a version 1 or version 2. And it doesn't show you what they look like. So all in all, very detailed kit, very nicely molded, great level of detail, and as you can see, it'll give you a great result.